Hello there, my lovely people. This is the first ever Custis Blue Yapcast. Thanks for being here. This isn't really exactly how I want it to look or be in the future, but you got to start somewhere. And I think it's really just time for me to start. Even though I feel like I've been starting a lot of things these days. But I think that's okay. Trying to navigate always wanting to be doing something, needing to be working towards something, and trying to navigate just living in general. And honestly, recently I'm dancing with the idea that maybe I just do like to be doing stuff. Maybe I want to be stimulated. Maybe I do have things that I'm chasing and working for, and maybe it does make me a little sad when I'm not working hard enough. And no, I'm not saying I need to take I'm not saying that there's no breaks, and I'm not trying to join hustle culture or anything like that, but I have things that I want to do before I die. And some of those are things, really all those things are for me. So I am probably a selfish person, even if I say I want to have a family. I want to have a family because I want to experience that love, Y'all don't know what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm trying to just yap and just talk and just be be authentic, even though I don't even really know exactly what authentic means. But when I say authentic, I just mean give you my mind. Not that I want every podcast to be just me. I haven't really figured that out yet. But for now, I just want to give you all my mind, mostly. I will have to filter it out at some points because I don't have control of this mind. And it can just go to weird places, dark places. And speaking on that topic, if you're someone like me, where your mind likes to just explore lots of things, that can be a confusing thing for someone. I think the crazy thing about the mind is, and ego in general is you don't necessarily have to identify with everything that goes through it. It can be fun too. I mean, we're all identifying with certain things. I identify with my name being Custis. If someone says Custis, I genuinely think they're talking about me, even though it's just a bunch of sounds that were given to me when I was born. But now that means something, and I've crafted a whole identity around it, just from perceiving and remembering. Anyway, I have a feeling that this podcast is going to be repetitive, especially if I do things by myself, because I have a way of thinking, and it's pretty consistent and fluid at the same time. I think there's some core pillars of my identity. I try really hard to be open and non-judgmental. That doesn't mean I succeed at those things. I will ask questions though. I mean, if someone comes to me and they say, hey, let's say I was in a relationship and someone came to me and they said, hey, I think, what you're doing is negatively impacting us or me or you. I generally will question it fully. And a lot of times, because I have a radical accountability, I will just kind of like really be like, yeah. And maybe yeah isn't it. But I think that happens to me because two things, some things that happened in my past, where if I wasn't like just in agreement, it really bad things would happen. And also, I genuinely care, and I might even care in a selfish way. I can gaslight myself right now into saying it's selfish. Caring is selfish. Because I care what people think about me and how they feel about me. And so when someone comes up and they say, this is what's happening, I question, like now I'm questioning this is how my mind works right now. We're literally discovering it together, you and me. Is it even caring? Like, I don't even know. Is it me caring about how they think of me, or is it me caring about them? Well, I don't like hurting people. But why don't I like hurting people? Who knows? I don't know, to be honest. I'm worried kind of like now what y'all think of me. I'm stressing out. But I said I'm going to just yap. This is the Custis Blue Yapcast, and I'm just going to accept it. And I want this to be unedited. I really also wish that I had looked at the time when I started this, because I want to do like, for the beginning, just like 30-minute yaps, but hopefully longer in the future. It probably hasn't been that long. I just want you to know, in my mind, it's already been like 40. I mean, it's already been like 25 minutes. And so look at the time right now and either giggle because I'm so off, or maybe I'm just that good and I'm right. But I'm going to keep talking and see where we are. I'm also trying not to say like and that much. I'm pretty sure I've said it a lot so far. I'll try not to cover my face with this. I don't even know, like, I could put this on here, but I just felt like having a mic would be, like, cool. And this isn't a mic. I mean, it is a mic in reality. I must be so boring. Anyway. So, but look at me, guys. I'm doing it. I am putting out my first ever podcast episode. And just doing it and seeing how it goes. Anyway, for those of you that don't know me, I guess I can introduce myself right in the middle of this if you made it this far. My name is Custis Blue. Most people call me Blue. A lot of people also call me Custis, especially people that I grew up with. Generally, when people like want to feel closer to me, they end up calling me both. But most of the time, most people call me Blue. But I have a feeling like when people like want to get closer to me and they hear my family calling me Custis, they almost like start trying to call me Custis. To me, like I like them both, a lot. I think Blue, but when I think of Custis and I think of Blue, I actually think of two different like parts of my life. And then but me accepting both of them is like, to me, pretty cool. I just said like in the middle of the sentence. I probably said it like 5 times. Anyway, it's, yeah. It's like, I'm not even going to worry about it. But it's an embrace thing of myself. So I'm Custis Blue. I, believe it or not, had a life before TikTok, but when COVID happened, I had happened to just come back to Georgia. I had lived in LA for a little bit. And I started TikTok, and that's where I got pretty popular for doing POVs. And recently been trying to rebrand to just being kind of funny and also just trying to be myself. Just trying to be myself. But I don't even know what that means, because you don't even know what yourself is. To me, really is the discovery. It's just the being here. And if I really go deep into it, but it doesn't matter. I'm trying to introduce myself. I can't even introduce myself. So now I'm trying to branch into YouTube. I want to do some podcasts. I really just like expressing. I'm 27 years old. Okay, that's the introduction, because I want to go on a tangent. It's taken me 27 years to embrace what I really want to do with my life. In fact, I'm like really figuring out in the past few days. When I first started creating content on TikTok and stuff, oh my God, I loved it. I loved making people laugh and making people cringe and making people discover themselves and think, and just like, I love being the center of attention too sometimes. Although sometimes I hate it. But I think I like it more than I hate it, obviously. Anyway, I'm discovering, what I really want to do. I think I love connecting, and I love creating. I love so many different types of creation, though. And the cool thing about today is you can do it all, and everyone wants you to niche down. Watch any YouTube video, any video, how to, any business video, niche down, and then expand later. So I am kind of niching down a little bit, but I'm also not. I'm the niche, baby. Custis Blue's the niche. You know what I'm saying? I am like niching down and compartmentalizing certain things, but I am also like letting things take its time. I'm not rushing everything, although it might look like it. I am taking time, but I am rushing a little bit because I'm about to graduate college. Yep, I'm 27 and in college. I'm 27 and I'm in college, and I graduate in December, and my parents actually still help support me. Only while I'm in college. When I was doing the POVs, I was supporting myself, baby. When I was in LA, I had help a little bit at the beginning, and then I was supporting myself. Man, I have so many different things I want to talk about. I want to talk about me discovering my calling, but I also want to talk about where I'm at in life. Anyway, here I am. Discovering my calling. 27 years. I think I've always known it. I want to create. Is that a calling? I love being a content creator. I really enjoy it, and it also brings me so much stress, and I think I could have a healthier balance. And I want to do more long-form content like this. Anyway, to be honest, I think I knew my calling a while ago, but when, TikTok is a low entry into content creation and entertainment, it made it accessible to everybody, kind of like Vine did. But TikTok just was had more staying power. And even though it's gotten a lot more saturated, but when I first started TikTok, you couldn't be proud to be a TikToker, let alone a POV TikToker. Everyone had negative things to say. And when you're successful, everyone will have negative things to say. And I happen to listen to them, and want to be cool. But anyway, because of that, it took me a while. I kind of neglected my calling because I thought kind of my calling might be not that cool. A lot of people think, if they've gotten to know me, that music is my calling. Music is a part of my expression of who I am. But my calling is to be a human, have fun, create content, express it authentically, whatever that means in the moment. Learn to crack some jokes and share it with the world. I love sharing things with the world. And I have so much trouble reaching out to people and keeping in contact. I'm really bad at it. And I'm sorry if you feel like I don't care about you because I haven't reached out or I didn't keep a conversation well. I'm not very good at it at all. My dad isn't either. But this is my reaching out. This is my reaching out to the world every time I post. I know that's really dumb, but this is my conversation with the world. Anyway, okay, it's only been fucking 6 minutes. I was about to say we're out, but it's only been 6 minutes since I said it was 25 minutes. And I thought that was a long time. Well, here we are, guys. I'm getting better at pursuing my goals. I hit a standstill with the streaming. And I wanted to do in real life streams. I knew I kind of reached my capacity. I knew that there was no growing of just game streams. I just know it in my heart. And as much as I love getting to play video games with people, that can't be the only thing I do if I want to grow and sustain and express. Although I do like playing games, but not with the ladies. I never play games with the ladies. A lot of people think I'm homoerotic. Not a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. And I've had my experiences. And I'm not cutting anything out of this. But through those experiences, I've discovered that I'm mostly straight. I'm also here. I think I'm basically straight. Yeah, I'm straight, but there's a spectrum. I'm not trying to give you guys any hope. You guys watching this, I'm not trying to give you any hope. Odds are slim to none. Basically none. I'm pretty sure none. But I just like to stay open-minded with myself because I don't want to put myself in a box. Although it feels a lot safer in a box. Guys, we all put ourselves in a box. It feels a lot safer in a box. I would like to know who I am, but I would be really, it would be really dumb to pretend like I really know everything about me and who I am. And I don't want to inhibit myself. I want to be free to love and discover and be a person. And I really hope, and that's kind of something that I want to give to the world too. I feel like that's something I can give by just being. Anyway, this is just like a 30-minute podcast of me talking about myself. So, but you know what? That's what I'm doing right now. Because this is my first episode, and I probably do a lot of talking about myself. My ex probably would say that. But actually, I don't know. I don't need to get into that. I was having a lot of problems during that time. If guys, y'all know what time that was like 2023, 2022. Some people were taking advantage of me. Not talking about my ex. So don't think I was talking about my ex. And I was falling off, and I didn't know what to do, and I didn't know what the right way was. And I was getting really insecure. And I let that get into a lot of my life. Sometimes I feel like insecurity is a disease. I mean, I think we all have it a little bit. But I think it's contagious, and I think it's a disease. And I think insecurity, the disease, I'm talking about the disease that people carry, it tries to bring people in. it will try to bring you in. So maybe notice that. Think about that when you're insecure. When you're being insecure, think about it. Think, is this insecurity actually you? Or is it almost like a separate energy that's coming over you and taking control and feeding off of it and wanting to bring other people there? Just think about it. Be open to that. It doesn't have to be that literally, but in a way, it kind of is. And that disease crept up. It'll creep up on you. It crept up on me. It crept up on me in different years of my life, but I think it hit me the hardest in 2022. Social media helped make it creep up. And people before that, before I even did social media. Believe it or not, I didn't start social media until 2020. So I didn't start pursuing it. Anyway, how do you cure the disease of insecurity? You take power back, baby. You take power back. You do things for yourself. You ask your body what it needs and you do those things. You build your confidence one step at a time. And I want to say something, guys. I wanted to do music and entertainment in general, but music at the time, I didn't think social media was an option at the time because they didn't have, Vine wasn't a thing. Instagram seemed like, you couldn't really grow on it. They didn't have reels. YouTube is long form content was such a hard thing to start with. It really is. It seems like it, at least. You need so much stuff for it. You don't really. You can do it on your phone, but at the time it just was it's not a low level entry. TikTok, low level entry with the ability to get exposure. But anyway, I have no idea what I was talking about. Oh, I'm going to say this a lot because one day I'm going to be really successful and it's going to be more impactful when I say this. 9 years ago is when I decided I wanted to make music. I didn't really start pursuing it, though, for a while. And at the same time, I decided I kind of wanted to be like an entertainer. Because really what I was deciding is I wanted to express to the world and I wanted to be seen expressing. And I wanted to spread the idea of being expressive and free and loving yourself. And we'll get more into this at some point. Not right now. But what I'm going to say is that I started this 9 years ago. And this journey, even though I didn't start social media and actually posting videos, and I didn't even really start learning guitar until 3 years ago. But I did go to LA and I did try to do music, and I did go to the studios and I did record, and I just didn't know what the hell was going on when I was doing that, but I tried to discover. But anyway, what I'm saying is I wanted this 9 years ago. I started this 9 years ago, and for 8 years and 364 days, I've wanted to quit. %99 of the time, I've wanted to quit. Yet, I'm still here creating. I'm still here expressing. I'm still here doing my thing. And mark my words, one day, that's going to be impactful. And this is me taking my power back and my confidence back and believing in myself and having dreams and bringing them back to fruition. Anyways, guys, I'm so dramatic. I'm such a dramatic person. I even got teary. Anyway, real men cry. I love you. I appreciate you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the first podcast, the Custis Blue Yapcast. Hopefully I'll post this soon and at least do this once a week. I think I can. I finally broke the seal. Bye, guys.